seen the news. I don't watch the news. But a lot of people bring certain things to my attention. I haven't watched the news in years. But looks like they're trying to holler for the peace treatment. Peace in the Middle East. Well, we know that we're fixing to approach the 70th week of Daniel. Now, before you watch this video, understand that God holds all timeline. And God holds everything in control, and everything can't come to pass unless God allows it to. God can stop it all if it ain't time for it. But we do need to watch the Bible, read the Bible. Keep our eyes focused upon the Lord. And prepare our hearts and be ready. Because the Lord is coming soon. So we need to be prepared and be ready for Him when He does come. It could be tomorrow. It could be next week. It could be 2 years down the road, 10 years down the road. We don't know. But He's coming. And He's coming quickly. So watch this video. As this is breaking news. Real news footage of what they're saying. They're hollering peace in the Middle East. And it could be United States could be a part of signing up with it within 9 months. So, we know the prophets are speaking. We know that God is God, and there ain't no one that can stop what God's going to do. God can turn it around in a day. God can fix it all. We know that. We believe that. We know that God is the same God in the book of Exodus as He is today. God hasn't changed. God holds it all. And nothing can and will not happen unless God allows it to happen if it ain't time. But, like I said, we got to read the Bible. We got to look at the Bible. We got to look at what the Word of God says. This is prophecy. And the Word of God, prophecy after prophecy is coming to pass. It's coming to pass quickly. And this is another one. If it happens, you better look up. Your redemption draws near. Jesus is coming. Let's watch this news footage.
Continuing to follow that breaking news right now on what could be a historic step towards peace in the Middle East. We brought you this earlier in the show, but now we're getting some new information.
The U.S. and Saudi Arabia have agreed on a tentative deal for Saudi Arabia to officially recognize Israel. Newsmax correspondent Daniel Cohen live in Tel Aviv with details. Daniel.
Yeah, good morning, Sean. Good morning, Emma. Historic, enormous, huge. Right. And all of those words are apropos to describe what we're talking about here. Let me just set the table for you in case you're just catching up. OK, the U.S. and Saudi Arabia have agreed on the broad contours of a deal for Saudi Arabia to recognize Israel in exchange for concession to the Palestinians. Also, Saudi Arabia wants U.S. security guarantees. And I think this is the bigger thing for them, help with their civilian nuclear program. Now, that is according to U.S. officials who were quoted off the record. And as you said, and you set this up the right way, a lot of this is not a done deal yet. In fact, the White House, we're hearing off the record expressing cautious optimism that something can be done in the next 9 to 12 months. But they have gone from hammering out larger details to some of the finer details. Listen, I've heard people here in Israel, people I respect and admire, that know Middle East foreign policy way more than I do, call it the mother of all Middle East peace deals. The Saudi Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, a man in his late 30s, the de facto ruler of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. He's been meeting in Jeddah for the last few weeks, in fact, months, with Jake Sullivan, President Biden's national security advisor, trying to get these talks moving. So now we're hearing they're talking specifics. So the significant concession from Israel would be help promoting the creation of a Palestinian state. That's what they're saying. I have to tell you, I am not hearing that at all here in Israel. In return, the United States would be pressing Saudi Arabia to impose limits on its growing relationship with China. Now, Prime Minister Netanyahu, I've been checking his Twitter. I've been checking anything. He hasn't said anything publicly yet. But since I've been here in Israel and recovering this for you here in Newsmax, he has said publicly there is no way that he will give up an inch of sovereign Israeli soil to create a Palestinian state. He has said he's willing to make moderate or light concessions. What does that mean? I don't know, but that's antithetical to the ultra-Orthodox that serve in the Knesset right now, ministers to Bibi's right, who say openly that they don't want to create a Palestinian state. They want to take land back from the Palestinians, including the Temple Mount. So this is very big news. We're still waiting to see specific details. But if there's a deal in principle between the United States brokering, obviously this is huge. And on the heels of the Abraham Accords, probably the highest accomplishment of President Trump, because it brought peace between Israel, Bahrain, the UAE, Morocco, and Sudan. Some people said if President Trump would have won a second term, or if he was still president, that this Saudi deal would have already been done. That's neither here nor there. But President Biden clearly riding some of the momentum, some of the I guess, greasing the skids, maybe a better term, but of the Abraham Accords and all the success that we've seen in trade and business there, economic partnership. But a deal with Saudi Arabia, recognizing Israel and bringing some sort of peace here is enormous. Sean, Emma, back to you.